Hi guys, welcome back to iAesthetics. I am so excited to share some news with you guys. I finally got a copy of my children's book that I have illustrated and wrote and published by myself. Yay! Zara's Dream is completely illustrated digitally by me. Here's a sneak peek. Hold on. Beautiful, professional, and absolutely gorgeous. Definitely check it out. I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. This book is dedicated to my daughter. I did publish a children's book a long time ago for my son. That was all hand drawn, and I went through a publisher, which by the way was a huge mistake. We had to put so much money down and we did not see any profits come from it. And it was just not what I wanted it to be. And obviously it was a huge disappointment, and it kind of set me back for so many years, honestly. But I got back up and I'm like, you know what? Like, I need to get this out. I want to be an author and illustrator. Like, that is the dream after the dream of Disney didn't happen, which didn't happen for probably a very good reason, because you don't want to work for a company that supports Israel. But getting completely off topic, being an illustrator and being an author and having an easy platform to publish is such a blessing. And honestly, it hasn't always been like that. Like before, it's been so complicated. You have to go through so many different hurdles. So I kind of want to walk through the steps that I took before when I published through a company versus the steps that I took in doing this by myself. So before, when I published my book, obviously I had everything done. Like, I had all my writing done. I have all my illustrations completed. And then I was on the phone with them and I'm like, hey, this is what I have planned for the book. They got me set up with an editor. And with that editor, we kind of went back and forth where they were making like little small adjustments to the writing. They didn't really offer any like advice or any suggestions, or even something where like, hey, like maybe a little extra page over here, an extra page here. I wish they had suggested something, because what else is an editor for, honestly, if they're not gonna make suggestions to make the book better? Anyways, I don't know. Regardless of that, it was a process. A lot of money was put down. I think like $4,000 was put down. And the book did look nice. It came out nice, but like they didn't help me much with advertisement, right? Like it was in Barnes and Noble, but it was only in there for probably like a couple months, and then that was pretty much it. Then after that, you were on your own and you were left with a warehouse full of books that you had to figure out how to sell. And if not, every month that they were there or they were being held, they would charge you. And that's just like, it was just not realistic, right? Especially for a small time artist who's trying to grow their business. It just didn't seem realistic at all. But learning from that and knowing not to go through a publisher, which was my husband's, advice. He was like, you need to do it by yourself. Like, everything is made accessible to artists these days. We just have to know our tools and know our resources. So he suggested Amazon. But being very careful about even doing that, right? Like when you go into Amazon KDP, you want to make sure you're on their official site. Like anything else, like you could get scammed. Like I almost did. Like someone got in touch with me and they're like, yeah, $300. And I'm like, I thought this was free. But if you go on their official website, you literally do not have to talk to anybody. Like you're doing everything. You're doing everything yourself. So just to show you guys, hang on one second. Okay. So just to show you guys a little bit. So when I was ready to go into KDP, I actually was not as prepared as I thought I would be. I had all my illustrations done. So I have literally everything done. All my pages were complete. All my writings were complete. Everything was complete. But I didn't take into account dimensions. And that's something that I had to kind of fix up. But even with that, like you do it yourself, right? Like you're not like paying someone to do it for you. That is an option if you're like completely, you know, like you don't know what you're doing on the iPad or with technology. But, you know, like for me, like I wanted this to be my project. So I had to kind of do a little bit of reading, and they give you a whole bunch of stuff to read if you're like a little bit lost. So I did my reading, I checked out the dimensions, and I literally just followed step by step on getting my book out there. Like first step, title. Second step, it was like description, little things like that. What size do you want? You know, what size do you want your book? What kind of format do you want your book? Just a heads up, for hardcover, it has to be like over a certain amount of pages, like over, I think like 190 or 290 or something like that. It was a large amount, because for hardcover, it's going to be like almost like a novel. But if you're doing a children's book, do the paperback, but it still comes out like this. It comes out in a good quality. It's not going to be like, you know, your regular paperback novel. It's still going to be really good quality, very good color quality, like everything's great. But I literally followed it step by step. I added in all my pages. I had to go back and adjust the dimensions, which if you're doing like a paperback, like children's illustration, the size will be 8.5 by 8.5 inches for your canvas on Procreate. I can put that in the description below, and just like what description and what dimensions I'm using even for the cover, if it helps. But it was so easy, you guys, and I did not have to put a cent down. And then once everything was done, you just, you know, you go through this process where they kind of will review it. So you can even see, like a preview of like every single page, but then once you hit the publish, it'll go through a review process. So once they go to and I had to go through a review process twice. So it took just a couple days for them to get back to me. And all they did was they were like, hey, you got to fix the dimensions on this page, or you got to fix the dimensions on all of these pages because it's bleeding out or it's getting cut off. And that was my only thing that I really struggled with, because my illustrations were made before I knew I was going to be doing like Amazon self-publishing. So I fixed all of them, I redid it, and then finally it was published. And you guys, it's available on Amazon. Now, the way it works is Amazon obviously takes a certain percentage. It's really printed by the order. So if someone orders it, they print a copy. It's not like hundreds of copies are gonna get printed and you're gonna get this bill later. It's like print by order, which is really, really nice. It saves on paper as well. And it really gives you the chance to grow your business. And then when it comes to advertisement, that's going to be completely up to you. Like, this is your business. You run it the way you want to run it. So I'll leave a link down below on my book and where you can find it. I would love for you guys to support me in my business, and more books are coming. If you guys want a little bit more in detail on how to use KDP and self-publish from like the very beginning, where like illustration process is happening, drop a comment down below and let me know. I am working on another book and I can do like a step-by-step process for it. Until next time, guys, sending lots of love, lots of good vibes. Peace.